Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you can join us. For housekeeping, would you please put your zip code and your first name or your name in the chat box so that we can have the attendance for today's meeting? I'm going to introduce Doug Beach, our board president and interim executive director. Doug, take it over.
Thank you, Berna, and it's nice to have everybody on this call as we kind of get down towards the end of the year. This is our annual meeting, which we have every year, and we do several things. This year in particular, because we haven't been meeting for the most part in person, we're still meeting virtually in many of our classes. We're back in office, in person in the office, but this will be a chance for us to share some information about NAMI San Antonio, what's gone on this year. You want to go ahead and advance the slide. So we'll talk about 2021 and updates, things that have gone on. We'll talk about our signature events this year, and we'll talk about the board elections and the people that are running for our board positions. And then we'll have some time for awards and recognition. Next slide. So we returned to the office August 1st, and it's been a working process. As most of you can imagine, just the process of coming back, everybody getting hooked up to the computer system, making sure that all the things that we hadn't done over the last year and a half in person that we're getting done again. And so it's been an adjustment period for all of us. Many of our NAMI classes and support groups, as you all know, have now resumed in person. We're still doing some virtually. We do have, as far as hiring, we do have one position open for our NAMI warm line supervisor, and we have we've had a soft launch for our warm line. That is, all calls are being answered in person, and we are fielding inquiries, and when people need to talk, this is an idea, the purpose of which is to help keep people out of crisis, give people resources before they end up in crisis. The board election, as I said, is underway, and today is the deadline for ballots to be received, and we'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. And our goal is that we anticipate returning all in person beginning January 2022. So just about 6 weeks, 2 months away, we'll be coming back in person. If there are events in our community that indicate that we need to stay virtual, we will, but we're watching the community guidance from the county and the city. Next slide. So one of the people I want to introduce is Annalicia Coronado. Annalicia is new to our staff. She joined about 3 months ago and has been working with Marianne Moquin on education, and Annalicia is going to do the next several slides.
Thank you, Doug. So for 2021, we have 26 classes that have been completed, which exceeds our goal of 25 for the year. Some challenges that we overcame from last year due to COVID was our leaders were trained to use Zoom and offer our classes and groups online. Our online classes are continuing through this year. And as Doug said, we'll continue to see what our community looks like next year. Hopefully we'll be able to offer all of our classes in person. One of the benefits of having the online option is we were able to reach a much larger audience. So we were not only serving San Antonio and Bexar County, but we were serving the surrounding counties. And there was even participants from out of state that were attending our classes and groups. We returned to in-person classes in the third quarter as our Door County numbers of COVID improved, and there was a big need for in-person classes within our community. And due to the online format, we were able to provide leader training for other affiliates and send some of our potential leaders to other affiliates to get trained as well. So it's really opened up opportunities to have leaders trained quicker than waiting for us to offer a training. And then for next year, our goal is to have 34 education classes, which would be the basics, family to family, peer-to-peer, and home front, with 260 graduates. Next slide, please. So this summarizes our support and outreach accomplishments. For 2021, we had 7 connection groups, which are groups for peers. And in those 7 groups, there were 758 people that we reached. Our family support groups, which are support groups for family members, we have 3 in-person groups running, and we've been able to reach 47 members. Those started in person a lot later, and so we're growing our outreach there. We were able to complete 6 CIT IOOV presentations, which is in our own voice for the crisis intervention training for law enforcement. Those were in person as well, which again started a little late just because of our numbers, but we were able to provide 108 officers with a peer perspective through IOOV. And we were able to provide Ending the Silence, which is a presentation for middle and high school students this year, to 12 high school seniors in a local high school. Since August, we have been to 6 community resource health fairs where we've been able to provide resources to 301 individuals that we were able to count. There's obviously a lot more that just get to see who NAMI is and what we do. We've had 616 people in our general meetings every month. And for the future, we are looking to train new leaders in all of our education and support groups, offer more diverse support groups to our community. We're going to start mental health awareness and leadership development clubs in SAISD high schools. And we are currently developing collateral and brochures to be able to take to businesses, organizations, doctors' offices throughout San Antonio, so everyone is aware of who NAMI is and what we're able to offer to our community. We just want to say a big thank you to all of our leaders who have taught in our various classes, support groups. So thank you all. I know a lot of y'all are in here, and we really appreciate your flexibility in going online and just really trying to figure out this new platform. Thank you again.
Thank you, Alicia. You know, it's been a challenging year, as everybody knows, and to finish the year slightly ahead of what our goal is was a real accomplishment. Testimony to all our volunteers, our leaders, and our staff. And next year, as Alicia told you, we're increasing our classes by about 25%. So we're optimistic about the year ahead and excited. I want to introduce Jerry Gregory, who is with Bridges to Care and with NAMI. And I'm going to let Jerry walk us through Bridges to Care. Many of you know that Bridges to Care started in 2020 as a result of the Pathways to Hope conference. We've had great participation and support from the city, from West Care Foundation, from the county, and really from the community as a whole. And I see is Jerry in?
No. Oh,
Okay.
yes, I see her in.
Okay, Jerry, if you want to talk through these several slides on Bridges to Care.
You might be on mute, Jerry.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and speak real quickly about Bridges to Care. We started out, as I said, in 2020. We came into 2021 with a good, with some momentum. Bridges to Care is a collaborative effort between NAMI San Antonio and, as I said, the city of San Antonio and faith communities throughout the city. Bridges to Care helps build connections at the grassroots level. We train wellness champions inside congregations, and those congregations are grouped geographically. Those close to each other form a cohort, and then they continue to meet. There are 5 modules for Bridges to Care. If you want to go to the next slide. So we're training people. Right now we have 18 cohorts in 54 congregations. We have 350 wellness champions that we've trained to date. We have community outreach clinical supervisors in each of the 10 city council districts. As I said earlier, the city of San Antonio is a supporter. We have a project coordinator, who's Jerry Gregory. And then Veron Blue is our cohort coordinator. And then we have a steering committee also. Next slide. So this gives you an idea as to where these cohorts are located and where the congregations are located. They're all over the city. And we are in all 10 city council districts right now, either with an active cohort or forming cohorts. And our goal is we have, I think I said just now, 34 congregations. I'm sorry, 54. During 2022, we'll easily have 100 or more congregations where people are trained to provide support to families and friends who are dealing with mental health issues. And again, the idea is to help people before they get into crisis. Next slide.
Sorry.
Okay, there's a picture of Jerry, so you can see her. She's a real person, and I hope we'll get her on the screen at some time. But as you can see from this slide, 349 wellness champions, 54 congregations, 18 cohorts. We've offered 90 different classes, almost 12,000 hours of training. We'll be doing, and you can see the difference between the beginning of the year in January and where we are in November. Dramatic growth. One of the other numbers I'll point out is the contacts that we've made, either an outreach or follow-up. And these are just Jerry's contacts, over 78,000 contacts made. And this is growing. So I want to, and this is a slide that shows you some of the people who have been involved in helping us fund this effort moving forward. And NAMI is the sponsoring agency, and we work together, all of us work together on Bridges to Care. So I want to thank Jerry, and I also want to thank Veron Blue. Veron was not able to be on the call this morning, but Veron has been our cohort coordinator, and she's been just a huge part of the program for Bridges to Care. So moving on to the some of our 2021 updates. Some of you may know we've opened a second location thanks to the clubhouse. We're located in the clubhouse, and we have established our education and outreach center there. So as we continue to grow our educational effort and our outreach effort, all those activities will be housed in that location. The 1 Park 10 office, where we've been for the last 5 years, is for accounting, admin, administration, marketing, and then any support services like IT. We have, let me give you some staff updates. Annalicia, who you just heard from, is our new education and outreach coordinator. We have an office office operations and administrative support person, Odelia. Some of you have talked to her or met her, and we're glad to have Odelia Lara on. We have, and Verna has been supporting us as we launch our warm line. So we have people who man the phones each day. Verna is one of those. Lori Packard is another, and Jackie Dickey. We have our Bridges to Care project coordinator, Jerry Gregory, and our Bridges to Care cohort coordinator of Veron Blue. And as I mentioned, our volunteers, Jackie and Lori, in addition to Verna. Next slide. There we go. And I want to turn it over to CJ Van Green, who is our marketing and development manager, director. CJ?
Hi, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I have to say, I look forward to these monthly meetings, not only because of the relevance and topics, and here we get a chance this month to give you all an overview, but it's nice to see familiar faces and names coming through the chat. So it's always a great way to reconnect with you all. So thank you for joining us. Signature events typically fall under our marketing and development fundraising components. And this year was filled with some of the typical repeat annual events. And we're going to highlight two of the biggest ones, which is Pathways to Hope and NAMI Walks Your Way. But of course, the general meetings are always going to be the second Tuesday at this time. Mental Health Awareness Month, we really ramped that up this year, and we plan on expanding more on that in future years. And then, of course, the annual Visionary Awards luncheon has had to take a back seat thanks to COVID, but we have high hopes that it will be another spring event and come back in 2022. So stay tuned for that. And it recognizes community leaders in the area. And we know there are a lot of heroes to recognize with that type of luncheon. Next slide, please. So NAMI Walks Your Way, we just literally 30 days today, thousands of people across the country actually got together for October 9th, which is the United Day of Hope, which was the theme for the NAMI Walks Your Way fundraising event. With the help of our 6 park champions this year, we actually tried a hybrid approach. So people had the choice of doing a virtual walk or sleep for mental health or bike or run, but others could join at some of the city parks that we reserved and still have a level of camaraderie. But we did 4 different locations, and I just want to give a special thanks to Tamara Ramirez, Lori Packard, Veronica Salinas, Karen Gabrielson, Kimata Ostalaza, and Caitlin Cochran of the Gray Star and their team that stepped up and were acted as hosts on our behalf as we had the events all at the same time that Saturday. And, you know, with your support, we were able to achieve 110% of goal. And we're able to have some really incredible special people stand out with the $1,000 Walk Star nominees or earners, achievers, as well as our top teams and top fundraisers. So a special shout out to them, because with their extra efforts of sharing with their friends and families from all over the country, we were able to really make a boost back up to where we're used to for the past 15 years with NAMI Walk. So we're really proud of that event. And of course, what lays the foundation, next slide, for events like this are our sponsors. And each and every year they help us and come back, and they get teams together as well. So we're incredibly grateful for their ongoing support. A special note of gratitude goes out to Laurel Ridge Treatment Center, who came in as a stigma-free sponsor at $7,500, but then during our kickoff event announced a $10,000 participant match. So they challenged us. We started raising the funds and we met the match. So we will be receiving another $10,000 from Laurel Ridge Treatment Center as a result of the help from you all in our community. So thank you. And we're really excited about 2022. We're even very hopeful to actually reconvene in one central spot. So we are going to be asking you all, how do you want to participate? What is your way with NAMI Walks? Or do we continue trying new things? Because the reality is it's a United Day of Hope. And the word is, the importance is getting the word out and serving our mission so that people know they're not alone in our community. Next slide. And then Pathways to Hope was another successful event this year. We repeated it as a virtual event, which was live streamed online. And we reached thousands of attendees around the globe. The structure of the conference remained the same with our 4 tracks, but this year we tried something new and used networking breakout sessions for some of the tracks on the second day. And that was a really successful, more engaging, more personable approach than just seeing a speaker on the screen. So we received some good feedback, and we just received our conference survey results for the post-evaluation, and 74% answered that they were extremely satisfied, with over 96 responding positively. And that was over 10% of the attendance. So we had a huge response rate, and we're very proud that it yielded such positive feedback. So, now the bar's been raised, the bar's been set, right, Doug? So we have to do better for next year. And you can see the replay of the 2021 and 2020 conferences out on our website as well as on our YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. Next slide. And then again, this is a sponsored event that could not be made possible without the help from City of San Antonio, West Care, and our Bexar County. So thank you for them for their continued support.
Okay, let's go back one slide, if you will, Vernon. Before we move on, there was a question. Mary Baird says some of us have concerns that NAMI is becoming more invested in faith-based programming and losing focus on the importance of non-denominational emphasis that is the hallmark of NAMI. How is this fine line being observed? NAMI is faith-friendly, meaning that we want to partner with all organizations and groups in our community that have an interest in supporting people with mental health issues. So we have brought faith communities more into the fold. I would say the majority by far of our locations, in-person meeting places in the past have been in faith communities. At Pathways to Hope, we purposefully try to engage people from different faith traditions, as well as licensed professional counselors, people from across our community. So if anything, we have kind of tried to include people from faith communities. The materials that we use within NAMI are all prescribed by National. We teach the family-to-family class, the peer-to-peer, basics. All of those are classes and courses that are developed by NAMI National. So I think that we've tried to maintain a balance, but we've tried to be inclusive so that the community is engaged. We know that statistically, more people go to see pastor, priest, or rabbis first before they go see any other health professional. And for a long time, we really haven't recognized that. So this is an attempt to enlist and engage faith communities to become part of the continuum of care. We will continue to try to walk that fine line as Mary Barrett has suggested. But if at any time anybody has any concerns, please voice them. And I appreciate Mary's comments. Okay, we're now at the time when we show the board nominees. We sent out letters to all active members, all people that were dues paying as of July 31st of this year. They were eligible to vote per our bylaws. These are the people who are standing for election. Mike Lazito, Jim McCann, and George Spencer are all current board members and have agreed to serve another term. Dr. Brian Herman, Sherry Ramos, let me move part of this, Ron Kirkland, Bob McCullough, Dr. Lisa Ochoa, Veronica Drake, Dr. Josh Nabel, and Mary Bell Peters are all new prospective board members and are on our ballot. And you can vote electronically. As I said earlier, the voting ends today. We will have a quorum, and so we will be able to announce new board members in the near future, probably this week. We added board member slots several years ago in order to be able to enlarge our board. There's a lot of work to do. And so this is an increase in the number of board members. We'll go from about 13 to about 19 board members, active board members. And so if you have these people are on the ballot, and you can see there, you can read a little bit more about them on our website by going to About NAMI, and under Board, you click on that and you'll find their brief resumes. And I want to thank each of them for standing for election. In fact, right now, let me just acknowledge that George Spencer and Karen Gabrielson are attending today. Brian Herman, Josh Nabel, and Ron Kirkland are all on this call too today, and I appreciate them being here. Next slide. Okay, I think Verna, you want to do this part?
Yes. Thank you very much, Doug. Once again, we'd like to have your zip codes in the chat, your name and zip codes, if you haven't already entered them. Thank you. Okay, we've got awards here. The first one is Peer Quality of Life. We have Julie Marshowitz. Sorry about that. I had it earlier. Anyhow, she's a peer support specialist. She works at the San Antonio Clubhouse. She also is a connections facilitator. David Castro, he's also at the Clubhouse. He also is a facilitator, and he is now working also at the Now Clinic. Then we have Janie Swatzel. She is on the planning committee for these meetings. She also is our Zentangle guru, and we're having the Zentangles fun online art classes that I'm inviting everybody to come join. They're amazing. They're very relaxing, and they come out very pretty. So each one of these, they really promote peer quality of life, what they do. So I just want to recognize them, and we're so glad to have them. Then we have the First Responder Impact Award. That's going to Cliff McLaughlin and Dan White. They have been getting really good reviews when they go and talk to the CIT officers. They have a background of being in the military and also being social workers, and they know what the officers are going through. So they're making a great presentations in our own voice. So we wanted to honor them for what they do. Then we have our intern champion. This year was Shelby Thomas. She was an intern going for her doctorate's degree in OT, so we can now call her Dr. Shelby Thomas. She was amazing. She was so helpful to us. PowerPoints, anything you asked her, she would do. She was a great intern champion this year. Technology award. Oh boy, Sergio Salinas. He came anytime I needed him. Like we had some glitz this morning and he walked me through it. He does the flyers for us. Anything we ask in technology, he knows all about it. So thank you, Sergio. Volunteer award. We have Katie Martin. She is also on the planning committee. And let me tell you something about the planning committee. We meet each Wednesday night every week planning, and we've already got the plans, topics for next year for 2022. They work very hard at it. She's not only on the planning committee, she also runs 2 groups, facilitator groups, every Saturday for over 40. And then she helps out with the veterans group. Anytime we need her, she's there. So thank you, Katie. Donald Shelton is also on our planning committee. He helps us with our PowerPoints and our slides, and he's there every week. So thank you, Donald. Healthcare Professional of the Year, Dr. Betsy Davis. She's a psychologist and local recovery coordinator, mental health service for the South Texas Veteran Healthcare Systems. She's really involved with NAMI. She's always at the NAMI walks. She includes NAMI in their planning committee for the veterans, their resilient program, and she's always there for us. So thank you, Dr. Betsy Davis. Rising Stars. We have Mary and Ray Baird. They do basics, they do family to family. Mary does home front, and they're also leading the Veterans Family Support Group at Endeavors in person. So thank you, Mary and Ray. Then we have Melody and Brad Denson. They just help in all areas. They teach basics, they teach family to family, and peer to peer. So thank you, Brad and Melanie, for all the hard work you've put into NAMI. Okay, Doug?
Oh my gosh, lifetime achievement. If I were Ed and Jackie, I'd say, wait a minute, I'm not dead yet. I'm not finished with my life. But at least so far, this has been a great life, and what you have contributed to NAMI is invaluable. We wanted to recognize you. As some of you know, Ed was the affiliate president for 6 years, and in 2010, last year he was affiliate president. NAMI San Antonio was named the outstanding affiliate in the United States. Out of today, what is over 650 affiliates, quite an honor. Ed and Jackie have contributed innumerable hours to NAMI, and if it weren't for them at some point, NAMI would have been just a nameplate on a door. But they've not only stayed with it, but they were really instrumental in helping develop the basic classes, the NAMI basic classes nationally. They've been national trainers. Ed served as the executive director of NAMI Texas for several years. I served on that board. And I think, anyway, it's hard to put everything on paper that they've done for NAMI, and they're on the call today, as usual. And Jackie continues to volunteer here in the office. And I don't think that anybody has ever called them and asked for help or wanted to just talk that Ed and Jackie haven't been available to to everybody. And so, Ed, I'd like to tell you that this comes with $1 million award, but it doesn't. It comes with a million, attaboys and pats on the back for what you all have done. Do you all, Ed and Jackie, do you want to say anything?
Well, this is a surprise and quite an honor, NAMI staff and Doug. I really appreciate it. But I have to say it's been extremely rewarding to me. I could probably speak for Jackie, but I know better now. So, it's been a wonderful experience. NAMI is the best thing that happened to my family and to me personally. And so it's my appreciation for NAMI that has kept us in the game. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Doug.
Jackie, since Ed doesn't speak for you, do you want to speak?
Well, I have to say that NAMI continues to give, we continue to get support from NAMI. Every time we talk to someone else, there is something that comes back to us. It just continues to support us, and all of us walk through this. This is not something that is over in 6 months like a bad cold. These problems go on with people through their life, and so many people do incredibly well because of support that they get, and so do their families. So it makes me want to continue to support other people too, because it all comes back, really. Thank you very much. This is a real surprise. I didn't expect that.
Well, we're not going to let you go. I know you keep saying, well, I'm not going to do as much anymore, but we're not going to let you go that easily. Before you advance the slide, I want to answer a couple more questions that have come in, because we did say that we would answer these as we go through the meeting. So thank you, Ed and Jackie, again. And it's just been a delight to get to know you and to work with you over these years. Okay, Mary Baird had another comment, and she said, I hope next year we'll be in person as well as virtual. We hope so too, probably more than you do. What is happening with the Bexar County Conference? That was the annual event of great value we look forward to. Good question. That was put on by the Center for Healthcare Services. I don't know the answer, but we'll find that answer out for you. Let me scroll through here real quickly and see if there's anything else. Somebody says, I love the Dickies. Yeah, we all do. They've given so much to NAMI. And then Raymond Baird spilled the beans here. He said, Mary Baird turned 78 on Saturday, so I think we owe her a happy birthday wish from everybody. And lots of congratulations to Ed and Jackie. Says I have 21 more new messages. Oh my gosh. Well, we won't go through all those. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide here. Okay, as some of you do know, Marianne Moquin is leaving. She has been the interim program director since the summertime, and we owe Marianne a big debt of gratitude for stepping in to help lead the program and to train Annalicia. And Marianne told me when Marianne's going to be taking a job in using her nursing background, and so we'll miss her. She said she's not going far. She's going to continue to teach family to family and continue to lead a support group. So thank you very, very much, Marianne, for doing the job that you've done. And Marianne told me when she was leaving that she said, boy, we are lucky to have Annalicia. She has caught on so quickly. She said, you know, you're in good hands. So we appreciate the job that Marianne did, and we appreciate having Annalicia here. And I'll also say, since we have not, we've been together so rarely, I do also want to acknowledge the fact that Carol Hollins, who left in July, she and her husband were going to do some traveling. I'm not sure they're traveling yet, but I also want to thank Carol during this time period of COVID, of helping us keep the educational program going for the last year and a half, 2 years. It's been a strange journey, one that we all hope that we don't have to do again. But thank you, Mary Ann. Next slide. Verna. Verna, you're on mute.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Okay, so I thought this was at the end, but this is the planning committee. I'm the staff and the committee chair. Our members are Katie Martin, Lori Packard, Sergio Salinas, Donald Shelton, and Janie Swatzel. So again, they meet every week, every Wednesday evening, without missing, and they're much appreciated.
And thank you to all of them. We've had great programs. We're going to have great programs in 2022. They've already been working on it. The next slide you see is a slide with our board members on it. And I just want to say thank you to all our board members that you see on this slide, all of whom have been dedicated and made a lot of contribution and have helped us get to this point and through COVID. I want to, in addition, on our advisory board, which you can see on the side there, we have Dr. Brian Herman, who will, Sherry Romas, Ron Kirkland, Bob McCullough, and Dr. Lisa Ochoa, all who came on our advisory board this year and who are standing for election as an active board member and a voting board member. And I wanted to say thank you to all those people. Next slide. And we have 2 board members who are rolling off the board and who will become advisory board members. Karen Gabrielson, who everybody knows has been teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching for years and has been wonderful. She and Sherry Hagland have really held down the fort on a lot of their classes. Karen's been just wonderful. Susan has been a great community member and supporter of NAMI, and we appreciate her advocacy out in the community. And Susan's also going to stay with us as an advisory board member. And so we thank both of them. Next slide. The NAMI Texas Conference, as many of you all know, is coming up this week, Friday and Saturday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's not too late to register. It will be a very, very good conference. Dan Gillison, who is the national president for NAMI, will be one of the keynote speakers. You may have heard Dan at the Pathways to Hope conference this year. He's a great speaker, lots of good workshops. We have several people from San Antonio who will be conducting workshops as well. I encourage everybody, pick what you want to listen to, just like the National Convention and NAMI conferences in past. Pick what you want to listen to and go attend. It's free. Just go to the NAMI Texas website and you can still register. Next slide. So this is our friendly band of merrymen and women who keep NAMI alive and keep everybody going. And I wanted to thank CJ and Odelia and Verna and Annalicia and Jerry and Veron for their work day to day. And it's really a pleasure to work with them. And I wanted to thank everybody for attending the meeting today. We hope everybody, we miss having our holiday get together, which we've done in person in the past. We're not going to attempt to do that this year, but we do look forward to doing that in 2022. So keep your membership up and come to our annual celebration next year. And thank you for all that everybody does. And let me see if there are any other questions let me find the chat, see if there's anything else that's new. let me just throw it open and say, if there's anybody that has a question, come online or put it in the chat as we wrap this up. So it looks like to me that the most prevalent message is thank you, Ed and Jackie, and happy birthday, Mary Baird. And I can't think of a better way to end this annual meeting. Thank you all for attending today. We look forward to working with you this coming year, and there will be good announcements in 2022 regarding our activity. Thank you all.